So I wanted to make a video with all the new current news on RGBA. Thanks to all the people that put content out on RGBA. Elie from EsNews at Setback, Rainbow at Teased by Rainbow, Frank at Frantic_1, and Paulo at Cumbia_. And all the fighters, trainers, managers, and family that create posts on Instagram to bring us the latest news and updates. Mikey Garcia, 39-1, 30 knockouts, is scheduled to fight a 4-round exhibition fight versus Eric El Terrible Morales from Tijuana, Baja California. A portion of the proceeds from the event will go to support Team Colunga to help Isaac in his journey to recovery. If you want to follow Mikey Garcia, he's at Team Mikey Garcia on Instagram. Abner Mares, 31-3-1, posted on Fox, said on Fox show that he is back in the gym. So if you want to follow Abner, he's at Abner Mares Official on Instagram. Here he is in a picture getting ready with Manuel Flores in what was his scheduled fight with Tank. But he suffered a detached retina and had to pull out of that fight a week before that was to occur in February. Josecito Lopez, 36-8, coming off of a loss against Keith One-Time Thurman, had a very, very successful 7th round where many people say he was 1 or 2 punches away from putting Keith One-Time Thurman down, the champion, or even putting him out. The Big G, Robert's father, says that he wants nothing but big fights for Josecito Lopez. At Jose Lopez is his Instagram if you want to follow him there. Jose Carlos Ramirez, 24-0, 16 knockouts. He is co-promoted by Rick Merizian and Top Rank. If you want to follow Rick on all the latest updates on Jose Carlos Ramirez's career, he is at Promoter 559. They had 14,000 fans at the Save Mart in his last fight there in Fresno. If you want to follow the Olympian, he's at JC Ramirez 2012. 2012 is the year he was involved in the Olympics. So at JC Ramirez 2012. He is the current WBC champion at 140, junior welterweight. Brandon Bam Bam Rios unofficially retired after his loss to Humberto La Zorrita Soto, but we did see him. He put out a video on his Instagram where he was training. He was doing a little bit of mitt work, and he did say that he had a 3-fight deal with Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing, but he only fulfilled 2 of those fights. So it's interesting to see where his career goes. If you want to follow Brandon, he's at Brandon Reels, the number 1, at Brandon Reels 1. Esquiva Falcao became the WBA champion in Brazil, March 31st. Robert flew out to be in Brazil with him that entire week. And for the fight, it was against Jorge Daniel Miranda, who is 56-17-0. If you want to follow Esquiva Falcao, he's a top-ranked fighter. He is at Esquiva Falcao. 23-0, 15 knockouts. I believe his entire career has been, he's not managed by Robert, but he is trained by Robert, RGBA. 23-0, 15 knockouts, Esquiva Falcao. I don't think that's the WBA championship, world championship title, but it's some level of WBA championship title. Eric De Leon, 19-0 with 1 draw. That 1 draw was against Andy Bences last year. He has 10 knockouts. He's from Detroit, Michigan. He just fought at the Hangar in Orange County in Costa Mesa. His opponent was Jose Luis Gallegos. He got dropped in the 5th round, but then he went ahead and stopped his opponent in the 7th. Also, on that fight card, Robert helped out a fighter out of Vista, California that spars in his gym, Eric Puente. And then also, Eric very recently put out a tweet that he's been fighting at 130 for 10 years now. So, very seasoned fighter. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at Team De Leon 1. Joshua Franco, 14-1-1. This is fight week for him. He fights this Thursday. He's a Golden Boy fighter. He is from RGBA San Antonio. He is getting the rematch versus Oscar Negrete, who's 18-1-1. This is for the NABF title. So very, very interesting. It's going to be at the Fantasy Springs Casino in Indio, California. I believe it's for the bantamweight 118 NABF title. So if you want to follow El Profesor, Joshua Franco, he is at one Professor Franco. And here's the flyer for it. April 25th, Thursday, Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino. Tickets start at $25. Doors open at 4:30. First fight at 4:45. It's a Golden Boy event in association with The Zone at the Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino. Joshua Franco, Oscar Negrete. Rematch. Hector Tanajara, another Golden Boy signed fighter out of RGBA San Antonio as well. Improved to 17-0 with 5 knockouts. He has the WBC youth title. You see it there around his waist. He's in a picture right there in Tijuana, Baja California with his dad. He fought Ivan Striker Delgado. He suffered a very bad cut over his right eyebrow, and it was stopped in the 4th round. So it went to the scorecards. If you want to follow him, he's at Tanajara Hector Tanajara, and I believe his dad is just the opposite, with last name first, so at Tanajara Hector. So there you go. 17-0, 5 knockouts. Hector Tanajara from San Antonio, Texas. Promoted by Golden Boy Promotions. Jonathan Thunder Navarro, 16-0, 8 knockouts. No updates on him. He just got married this weekend. I saw some updates on his Instagram. If you want to follow him, he's at Jonathan Navarro _16. There you see him with Joshua Franco and Biggie Rodriguez. Carlos Licona, 14-1, 2 knockouts. He is the ex IBF and WBO Latino champion. He has been seen in the gym. Virgil Ortiz Sr. went live on his Instagram, and you could see Carlos in the back with his father. If you want to follow him, he's at Mexicanito 12. His sister will be fighting on the Legends Collide card. So Carlos Licona from Westminster, California, 14-1, 2 knockouts. Virgil Ortiz Jr., 12-0, 12 knockouts from Grand Prairie, Texas. He in the Dallas area will be fighting on the Cinco de Mayo Canelo versus Daniel Jacobs pay-per-view. No, it's not going to be a pay-per-view. It's a DAZN event. Officially, they didn't tell us his opponent for the majority of this time, and officially it's Mauricio Herrera. So he'll be fighting at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. If you want to follow him, he's at Virgil Ortiz. He re-signed, I believe, last year with Golden Boy Promotions for another 5-year contract. So 12-0, 12 knockouts from Grand Prairie, Texas. Virgil Ortiz Jr. One of the hottest prospects, hard-hitting prospects out of RGBA in Riverside. Joseph Blessed Hands Adorno, 12-0, 10 knockouts. He fought March 17th. He fought to a unanimous decision, a 6-rounder. If you want to follow him, he's at Real Joseph Adorno. I believe his entire career he has been with RGBA as well. They did miss one fight last year in Puerto Rico, but the majority of the time he either has Pita or Robert in his corner, Joseph Adorno. If you want to follow him, he's at Real Joseph Adorno. One of the latest additions to Team RGBA is El Terrible John Bauza, 12-0, 5 knockouts. He fought on Sunday, March 17th at the Madison Square Garden. Also fought to a unanimous decision 6-rounder. If you want to follow him, he's at Real John Bauza. I believe he fights at 140, if I'm not mistaken. Louis Coria, 11-2, is scheduled to fight on Legends Collide. There you see him in a picture with Robert. He fought on the Spence Garcia undercard at the AT&T Stadium in Dallas, in Arlington. There's a photo credit to Cumbia right there. I posted it on the picture. At Cumbia with a AA_. He is Team RGBA's official photographer. And if you want to follow Louis, he's at King Louis 416 on Instagram. Alejandro Porchop Guerrero, 10-0 with 9 knockouts. He is from Irving, Texas, in the Dallas area. He fought the night before Mikey Garcia fought Errol Spence. Garcia Promotions had an event there in Irving at the Southern Junction nightclub. He was the main event. He got a knockout, so he improved to 10-0. If you want to follow him, he is at porkchop_214. I believe he fights at 135. Misael El Chino Rodriguez, 9-0, 4 knockouts. Originally, there was a rumor that he would be the main event for Legends Collide, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense for a. They're trying to hold those events for the RGBA stable fighters that don't have promoters, but Misael actually is promoted by Richard Schaefer's Ringstar Sports, so it didn't make a whole lot of sense to have him on there. But who am I to say anything? But he has been pulled. So if you want to follow him, he's at Misael Otee, Misaelote on Instagram. I believe he fights at 160. Jesse Bam Rodriguez, this is the little brother to Joshua Franco, 9-0, 5 knockouts. He was moved very, very well last year. Fought on multiple platforms from Golden Boy to PBC. He is 9-0 with 5 knockouts. He's from San Antonio. He is the only fighter from the stable that is promoted by Tekken Promotions. I believe it's the same promoter that that Robert Garcia signed with however many years ago, 20, 25 years ago. He improved to 9-0, and he fought on the undercard to Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence as well in Arlington, Texas. So if you want to follow him, he is at 210 BAM. And we don't have any news of when his next fight is. Lindolfo Delgado, he is 9-0 with 9 knockouts. He is also promoted by Richard Schaefer's Ringstar Sports along with Misael El Chino Rodriguez. If you want to follow him, he's at Lindolfo Delgado. His last fight was there in Arlington, Texas. You see him with the Big G and Jose Chepe Contreras in the ring with him. So Lindolfo Delgado, 9-0, 9 knockouts. I believe he fights at 140. So if you want to follow him, he's at Lindolfo Delgado on Instagram. Genaro El Conde Gamez, 8-0, 5 knockouts. He is scheduled to fight May 16th. He is a Golden Boy promoted fighter. He lives in San Diego, California, and trains there. So if you want to follow him, he's at Genaro Gamez. Brandon Bulletproof Blanton, 8-0, 7 knockouts. Born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. He was on the undercard with stablemate Jose Lopez when Josecito Lopez fought Keith One-Time Thurman at the Barclays in New York. 8-0, 7 knockouts. He goes by Bulletproof. So if you want to follow him on Instagram, it's at Team Bulletproof. Isidro Ochoa, a top-ranked promoted fighter. He fought on the undercard of Jose Carlos Ramirez in Fresno and improved to 7-0 with 3 knockouts. And he's scheduled to fight on the May 4th top-ranked card in Stockton, California. The main event in that card will be Gabe Flores Jr., who is from Stockton and also the youngest fighter to be signed by Top Rank. So if you want to follow Isidro Ochoa, you can follow him on Instagram at IGO_Ochoa. At Ego_Ochoa. 7-0, 3 knockouts, Top Rank. Aaron Morales also fought there in Arlington, Texas on the Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence card. He is scheduled to fight. He is scheduled to fight. That news has been very recently announced. I think Rainbow put that out this weekend on her Instagram that Aaron Morales and Biggie Rodriguez will be on the Legends Collide card on June 8th, and that venue is to be determined. So if you want to follow Aaron Morales, you can follow him at Aaron_Morales with 3 S's at the end. Aaron Morales from Oklahoma City. He is not signed with a promoter, but he was the most active fighter out of the RGBA stable for the year of 2018. He fought a total of 5 times. He pro debuted at the night before Mikey fought in San Antonio versus Sergey Lipinets. That was a Garcia Promotions event, and then he fought a total of 4 more times between March and November. So he took November and December and January off and came back and fought again in fought in March on March 16th. So if you want to follow him, he's at Aaron_Morales. Ray Danger Murataya, 7-0. He just came off of a victory this weekend. He was on the undercard in Carson. on the Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granados. So he is scheduled to fight also on the prospects on the Legends Collide card on June 18th. Opponent to be determined. 7-0, 5 knockouts. No promoter. He has fought on Golden Boy cards, but he's not officially a Golden Boy fighter. So 7-0, 5 knockouts from Fontana, California. Ray Danger Murataya. If you want to follow him on Instagram, it's at Ray_Murataya, the number 1. Brian Lua, 5-0, 2 knockouts, has been with RGBA a few years. He is a top ranked prospect. He's suffered some hand injuries, I believe, and we don't have an official update on him. But if you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at Brian_LUA. Lua, last name. Jose Ruben Rodriguez has been one of the hottest prospects moving around. He is 6-0 with 2 knockouts. On March 9th, he was on the Porter Ugas undercard there at the StubHub, the Dignity Health Park in Carson, California. And then he's scheduled to fight, he did fight on the Loma card at the Staples Center in LA, where he got another win. So he is scheduled to fight there on Legends Collide as well. The venues to be determined on June 18th, 2019. If you want to follow him on Instagram, it's at RubenNR_. I believe he fights at 140. So plenty of stablemates that fight at 140 to give him good work. Brandon B-Fly Macias, 3-0 with 1 draw. He had that 1 draw versus Giovanni Noriega there at Prospects Collide in January 18th of this year. He has 2 knockouts. He will be fighting on Legends Collide. Opponent to be determined, and weight to be determined as well. I don't know if he'll be fighting at 112 or 115 Superfly. If you want to follow him, he's at B_Fly301. One of the most exciting fighters out of RGBA. He is from Goodyear, Arizona. Brandon B-Fly Macia. Robert Biggie Rodriguez, 3-0, 0 knockouts. He fought in Arlington, Texas, on the AT&T Stadium card of Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence. He very recently has been announced that he will be fighting on the Legends Collide card as well. I believe he fights same as B-Fly at flyweight at 112. So if you want to follow him, he's at Biggie Jr. _. He is from RGBA San Antonio. Isaac Colunga has been successfully moved to Denver, Colorado, to a rehabilitation facility. There's still strong fundraisers being held in his honor. A portion of the proceeds from Legends Collide on June 8th will be to help his family finance his medical expenses. Isaac Colunga is a fighter from Colton. He was 3-0 with 2 knockouts. Has been with RGBA Riverside, and unfortunately he was the victim of a drive-by shooting, and there's a bullet lodged in his vertebrae. So his family's been with him, and they're trying to get the best care for him, and they've moved him from hospital Riverside to Denver, Colorado. So prayers out for Isaac Colunga, a fighter. I believe he was fighting at 122. Those 3 fights, he had 2 fights out in Rancho Mirage, and then he was one of the prospects that fought on Prospects Collide on January 18th in San Bernardino. So he has a GoFundMe page under Team Colunga or Team Isaac Colunga. So anybody that's willing to help can go there, or you can come support the event on June 8th, Legends Collide. So if you want to follow him, he's at Team_Colunga. I follow his mom and his aunt for updates on him. He was one of my favorite fighters, mostly because he was from Corona and I grew up in Chino. So it was, I bought tickets from him for the Prospects Collide. I met him out in Ontario. So keep him in your prayers. Isaac Colunga, 3-0, 2 knockouts, fighting for his life. Alexis El Macizo Espino, 1-0, 1 knockout. He is promoted by Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing. There you see him with David Benavidez. He's scheduled to fight May 4th on the DAZN app in Las Vegas on the Canelo Jacobs card, and he's been seen on EsNews very recently in training there in Riverside. If you want to follow him, he's at _ Alexis Espino 1. Evan Sanchez from Parlier in Fresno County has opened up a gym along with Al Perez, RGBA Central Valley. He is welterweight. He's 3-0 with 2 knockouts. If you want to follow him, he's at Real Evan Sanchez. There you see him in the white shirt behind B-Fly, in between Pita and Manny Rodriguez. He's in the white shirt in the middle, Evan. Total credit to Cumbia. Jeremy Magic Hands Adorno. This is the little brother to Joseph Blessed Hands Adorno in Puerto Rico. So he had his pro debut on March 30th. If you want to follow him, he is a top-ranked promoted fighter at Magic Hands _ Jeremy. Carlos Caballo Bronco Adames just got a victory. He is now the NABF and NABO champion. He got a TKO win a minute into the 4th round. He was on the top-ranked Crawford versus Khan ESPN pay-per-view. So he is the latest fighter to join RGBA. Yeah, it sounds like he was brought in to give good sparring to Mikey Garcia as he prepared for the Southpaw Errol the Truth defense. So I'll have a picture up of him soon. Carlos Caballo Bronco Adames. I believe he's from the Dominican Republic. Fights at 154. So added to Legends Collide on June 8, 2019 is undefeated Mexican fighter Jose Vivas from Texcoco, Mexico. And then the other fighters scheduled to fight up on there is Luis Coria, Brinian B-Fly Macias, Ray Danger Murataya, Lina Cookie Licona, and Mike Danny Sanchez from Colton. And then recently added Robert Biggie Rodriguez and Aaron Morales. I got that lead from Teased by Rainbow. She put that out on a Instagram post. So the first quarter for RGBA, January through March, they were 23-4-1. And then with Ruben's win and 2 more wins, they improved to 26-4-1 for the year. So the second quarter being what? January, February, March, April, May, and June. They're 3-0. They got tons of fights scheduled, and it's my belief that they're on schedule to go to get 100 wins in 2019. So I will be keeping updates on these videos that I do, and also via my Twitter. So photo credit to the official photographer of Team RGBA, Cumbia, and to all the Instagram pages of the fighters, trainers, and managers who post updated pictures on their IG to allow us to keep updated on Team RGBA. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. I'm Sonteo Media on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Sonteo _ Media, and you can follow me on Instagram